All right, so if you are interested in attending the Success Series, it is 4 sessions, 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, both 9 to 11 and 1 to 3, and you have to attend all 4 sessions in order to complete the class. And there is a limit of 250 attendees on this one, so you want to make sure that let's see what we've got there. So yeah, you want to make sure that you log into this one early if you can. It will be recorded, but I take that back. This one will not be recorded. It won't be shown later. This one's only available live. Then on Tuesday at 1:30, we have What Great Agents Do in Time of Crisis. Mark is doing, along with Rick, a Facebook Live every Tuesday, and I believe it's Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll verify that, but I know that it's at least every Tuesday, and he's doing a series on what great agents do in time of crisis. So check your email for that link. You guys are all getting it, and just know that you can log on anytime to that Facebook Live on Tuesdays, and you'll be able to see that presentation. There's also the PSRAR forum. We decided last week that we are going to continue doing our in-house caravan, and depending on what the content and topic is for the PSRAR forum, we are going to attend that, and we're going to have discussion about it later. We're still going to continue to do our caravan and post it. We're still trying to figure out what the best bet is for the meeting. I think we've probably decided that it's going to end up being Friday that we'll do our in-house caravan where we all just get to pitch our listings. But we're still trying to figure that out. So again, we appreciate you guys giving us some flexibility on that as we navigate what this is going to look like. On Wednesday from 10 to 11, AdWorks, there's an AdWorks social media and TV ads marketing session that you guys might want to attend. They've talked in the past about all the social media ads, but this time really focuses a little more on the TV commercials that are available. And so because, again, everybody's at home and binge watching right now, it might not be a bad idea to join into one of those sessions. There's 2 of them this week, one on Wednesday and one on Friday that you'll see later. We also have the Success Builder series on Thursday. This session is Zip Forms. We will get you the link and check your email for the details on that. If you haven't set up your Zip Forms, this is a place where we're going to help you set up all your templates and get everything ready so that when you have that first client, you're ready to go and you know exactly what you need. It's also a good place if you haven't updated your Zip Forms templates in a while to join us so that you can really kind of go through and revamp your templates and make sure that there's everything in there that you need to have. And then on Friday, we'll have our weekly recap, and Friday afternoon we will have our AdWorks social media, the second AdWorks social media event that was going to be on Friday afternoon. So again, check your email from the marketing department for those events. Those were all put out last week, and the one for AdWorks was put out on Friday at 1:30, if that helps anybody with trying to find it in their email box. So lots of good opportunities for you guys this week to plug in, even though, like I said, Dwayne and I are scaling back just slightly on some of the group stuff we're doing so that we can do more individual and even small group stuff. But if you look at the calendar, we still have plenty of stuff every week for you guys to be able to attend. It's not like there's a lack of content. So we're going to just make sure we get all that in front of you so you guys can decide how you want to fill your calendars while you're deciding how to fill your time right now. We also wanted to touch one more time on the virtual sales and productivity contest. Make sure that you're getting those forms turned in every Wednesday by 9 a.m. I know that's when your PSRAR forum meeting time is, so if you just get it to us before that, then you're in good shape. We also want to make sure you're emailing that out to Laura. You can send it, if you have a photo of it and you want to send it in to Dwayne or I, you can always snap a picture and text it to us. That's completely okay. We don't mind that at all. That's just, we're going to end up shooting them over to Laura anyway, so you can send those out to us. And Laura is going to send a copy of this email back out to you again right after this meeting is over, so that you all will have a fresh email with the contest rules and all of the points and prizes and all the fun stuff. So let us know if you have any questions about that, and we'll be reaching out to you guys individually about that this week. As always, our YouTube channel is being updated every week with all of our new classes. So if you guys miss anything that we remember to record, you're able to go over to the BHHS Palm Springs YouTube channel and watch it. And again, we've got that now sort of laid out where everything is being uploaded there. So again, if you've got any questions about content that you missed, that's generally where you'll find it. And then training, the education and training or technology training for this week, excuse me. Again, I think it was probably heard by more than just our offices that the other managers asked Chris to push his schedule back to the afternoon. So he as well has sort of scaled back some of the classes that he's doing and is only doing one a day, and he's doing them in the afternoons now, so it doesn't conflict with any of the other stuff we're doing in the morning. So Tuesday from 1 to 2, he will be doing VAC 1, and then from 1 to 3 on Wednesday will be VAC 2, and on Thursday we'll be doing the buy side, and Thursday afternoon after that will be the mobile app. If you wanted to be on for both buy side and mobile app, you can just stay on the Google Hangout for both of those classes. I would recommend to anybody who hasn't done the mobile app training in a little while that it would be really a really good one to attend. They're going to show you how to download the app and program it so that when your buyers need help with it, so you can offer it to your clients and show them how to do it. It kind of helps you to become the pro on the app, so that if your clients are trying to utilize that to look at property, especially right now, it's a good thing for you to be the expert on. So the buy side session and mobile app, I would suggest sitting in on both of those on Thursday afternoon if you have the opportunity. So lots, again, you guys, lots of classes available for you this week that we have all kinds of opportunities. And as you know, as always, the marketing department and Chris are available for one-on-ones if you need them. That's it for this week for our slides. The last one I'm going to show you is this one that it's my next little piece that I picked up from Zig Ziglar, and I almost hesitated putting it up because I don't like the word hating yourself, but I think this last week was really a kind of a smack in the face for me about just self-care. And so this says, stop hating yourself for everything you aren't and start loving yourself for everything that you are. And I really want you guys to sort of take that to heart this week and think about everything it is that you are able to do right now for your clients and everything you are able to do to help people, and look for those positives and look for those ways that you can act. I think that we're all getting a little antsy right now. So if you're looking for stuff to do and looking for ways to be able to get out and start figuring out good ways to do business, Dwayne and I are going to be reaching out to you guys this week to be setting more one-on-one appointments. And we really encourage you to reach out to us as well. We're happy to strategize, and I know I keep saying it over again, but we're happy to strategize with all of you on, you know, any challenges that you're coming across right now. It's an interesting time, but you guys are navigating it like champs and like the true professionals that you are. So we're just all absolutely very impressed with everything that you're doing. Dwayne, do you have anything to add to that? And I'll check the chat. I know you're monitoring it.
Yeah. So both associations here in the Coachella Valley have adjusted their dues schedule for third and fourth quarter. So make sure you're paying attention to your emails from your associations so that you understand. I believe Palm Springs is reducing theirs 20%, and California Desert has reduced theirs about the same. So all the associations are understanding, you know, the times are tough, so they're trying to accommodate all of our members. For those of you who are members of Palm Springs Regional, today we will have I believe it's today, the release of the Matrix dashboard available to those users who are using the Flex platform. This does not apply to the people who are using Vesta Plus. That doesn't change. Okay.
I noticed in the chat, Tammy asked if we had 100 followers on the YouTube channel yet, and the answer I saw that you posted is no. We do still need you guys to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Again, the cool thing about doing that is that every time there's a new video released, you'll be notified of it. And so, you know, just make sure that you go subscribe to that. And the cool part is once we get 100 subscribers, we're able to change the handle on the URL to say our office name. It'll say BHHS Palm Springs as opposed to that long, ugly, whatever it is, just a bunch of gobbledygook. So just be aware of that. If you guys would do us a favor, your managers, we would really appreciate it if you guys would go on and subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you have access to all the material. Doesn't mean you have to watch every video. It just means that you would be prompted or just reminded anytime that we add something new, so you don't have to worry about missing anything. Yeah, he might. I saw that Byron is mentioning that he might need to present. That's okay. He can totally take control of my screen. If he wants to get on and present, he doesn't have to be given permission. Yeah, anytime he's ready, he's more than welcome. I'm done with my slides, so I can stop presenting actually. that from here. So as you guys all know, we have a very special guest who's joining us this morning. And so we're all kind of just getting ready for that now. Brad Inman has agreed to stop by and be a guest for us. And so we're, I didn't have too much planned this morning because I wanted to kind of leave everything open for that conversation. So as we're waiting for him to get on, I just want to see if you guys drop in the chat for us if you've got any questions or anything that's going on with you guys. We'd love to hear what's happening in your world right now. I know Dwayne and I are we're getting lots of calls. I did over the weekend, lots of calls from agents navigating deals. And so we know you guys are out there working. We know that you guys are really pushing yourselves to try to figure out new ways to do this business. And I think we're all impressed with what you're doing. And remember, again, as we're doing this, we're all it's starting to wear on all of us. So just do what you can to sort of be nice to yourself this week. That's sort of our mantra this week. And so it looks like our guest has just joined the room. So we'll give him a minute to get acclimated. Dwayne, can you just double check and make sure he's not muted?
Greetings, gang.
Good morning, Brad. It's good to see you.
Great to see you all.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Do I have any ketchup on my face?
Not at all. Not at all.
Is the volume okay?
Yeah, you're good to go. Absolutely.
Yeah, this new thing, my notifications were off, but now it keeps dinging me in the middle. I don't know where the settings are for that.
Yeah, so what'll happen if people come in, you will hear it. So I'll just click admit. You don't have to worry about clicking anything on the screen. We can all kind of manage it with you. Oh, it's the interesting thing about Google Hangouts. We all have the same permissions.
Yeah, that's good. So we'll take questions from the crowd, right?
Yeah. How are you? First off, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Everything's good.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We're super excited. To just hear what you have to say. You guys absolutely start dropping questions in the chat for us so that we can start engaging in conversation. But I'd like to know, what are you hearing out there? What are some of the things you're hearing from agents across California as far as concerns go?
Are we live now, or are we doing?
We are. Yeah, we're live, and we've got 50 people on the call. So yeah, feel free to go ahead and let's just start.
So, greetings. I'm Brad Inman, everybody. I'm your neighbor. I live on Monterey Road, and I've been here about 7 weeks. And I talk to people from all over the world, and I think two things. People are getting ready for the dog days of the summer of 2020. It's going to be tough. April was tough, maybe May, June, July, who knows? And then I think also people are seeing signs of the reopening of the economy, and that's very optimistic. I think also people are feeling, enabled by this time that we've had kind of been alone in isolation to get their act together in their business. And so they're better prepared whenever we return to normal situation. And so I think people that have spent the time investing their time, at least in technology that works and understanding it better and making things smoother and easier are going to benefit greatly because they have the infrastructure in place to perform better. I don't know if you know, when I bought a house here, we had an escrow company that required a certain document be signed, and I wasn't here. And so I challenged the escrow company why I had to give them a paper signature. And they said, that's what our lawyers say. And I go, well, let's get the lawyer on the phone. Let's talk to the lawyer. And I asked the lawyer, why do you require that? And he said, that's because that's the way we've always done it. And I go, that's a really bad reason. Mm-hmm. And that form is no longer required to be paper. Like many others. One time I walked away from a deal in New York City because the agent didn't use a DocuSign. And I said, I'm going to walk away from the deal. And they said, what do you mean you're going to walk away? Just because you have to send a printed document? I said, really, the question's for you. It'll cost you like $99 to buy DocuSign. It'll take you 2 hours to understand it. Are you going to walk away from tens of thousands of dollars in real estate commissions? So I think all of that stuff we used to chatter about that had no impact on the industry, it took a pandemic to force the hand of the industry to realize, gosh, we can make this a lot smoother and easier for the consumer. So the overriding thing I'm hearing out there is people are getting their act together for when we come out of this, and they're adopting all the technologies. Some adopted it a long time ago, love to all them, and others are adopting it. So the industry is really going to be better suited to deliver a much better consumer experience when we're done here. And that's just one of many, many, many examples.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. We've been talking about that a lot here, just making sure our agents are really, what do we keep saying? Honing their skills, sharpening their tools, and making sure that they're getting their business in order so that when things do open back up a little bit, that they're able to capture those opportunities. And you're right. I think that experience that the client is expecting right now is significantly different than what they expected even 60 days ago.
Yep.
The amount of hand-holding and the amount of care they expect us to have. It was very interesting on a message board this last weekend, and I shared this with my co-manager Dwayne, that one of my friends, somebody made a post, and it was a client that had walked through with the dreaded blue painter's tape, and there were literally little dots everywhere, and the agent was making a complaint on a realtor's message board. And my friend, actually, as I was like thinking about what my comment back was going to be, I noticed that a friend of mine had made a comment and said, don't fault them for their standards. And it sort of made us all just sit back in our chairs for a second and really think about that. What are the standards of the clients that we're serving, and how are we going to start meeting those? Because we've really been kind of dragging some of these transactions along like a tugboat. And now we're having to really, again, just like get that level of comfort that the client's looking for, and up our game when it comes to serving them. So you guys drop in the chat for us if you've got questions. I see that what some of our agents are saying here is that we've had a huge uptick in buyer inquiries since Friday. I was getting lots of calls, and Byron mentioned he had multiple offers over this weekend. I've had lots of calls over the weekend from our agents that you guys are navigating transactions right now. So we know that people are out there and they're looking, and that there's concern, but again, there's still that group of people that are able to make a move right now. And we're talking about the opportunities that we think are going to be coming up, specifically with those investor owners who may potentially be selling over the next little bit and giving the opportunity for true buyers in the Coachella Valley to pick up that haven't been able to own a home in a while. So I think those pieces are all interesting. What are you seeing, Brad, as far as innovative ways that agents are doing new business? Like, I think we're all kind of wrapping our head around the fact that virtual showings are a possibility and really a thing, and Zoom meetings really do work, and we don't have to travel to meet with people. What are the things you're seeing agents doing out there right now?
Well, all of that. And I think also agents are discerning what technology is useful and what's not. In good times, they basically bought stuff that was useless, or their broker provided inferior technology and they accepted it, and because it was forced down their throat. And now agents have the time to discern and really be smart about it. But also, I think probably the most innovative thing I've seen is Byron and Michael left a bag of barbecue ribs on my front porch with no expectation, no text, no email, no business card. They took my bike to get fixed in the bike shop because they knew before my wife Yas got back that I was isolated. And so service, not sales. Sales right now is, it's always been stinky for the consumer. I think on the technology front, drip marketing, wow, that's a great way to market to consumers. That's called water torture. Maybe agents will stop doing stupid stuff that doesn't serve their clients at all and doesn't help their credibility. Maybe they'll focus on service, not sales. And service, if every realtor I've ever known all over the country, or the many houses Yas and I bought, we go to those agents. 1, have integrity. 2, are smart. 3, are really good negotiators. And they're more into me and service and customers than they are into themselves. And fancy pantsy BS, let me show off my car, let me be the big shot with you, know everything, have all the answers. That stuff never flied anyway. The most successful agents always understood those 4 elements. And I think in a way we're going back to traditional sort of approaches that made the best agents the most successful. A good friend of mine, Ryan Serhan, I had him on my podcast recently, and he just talked about all the agents that flooded the market after the last financial crisis. And that's because there was high unemployment and people ran to real estate, just like divorced mothers did in the 60s. When they had no other way of earning income, they became realtors. And there's been many phases of this. And people say, well, there's going to be a thinning out of agents. No, I think there's a new generation of savvy, smart agents, different than the last ones that came in 2010. And that's an innovation. Anytime we bring in new, fresh, innovative blood with a different ethos, different habits, that's fantastic. I know some in the industry don't want to make room for these newbies, but I think it was fantastic 10 years ago. I think it'll be fantastic now. And all this stuff that's hard for some generations is easy for this coming generation. And it's going to be, I think, very, very positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I like what you said too about marketing yourself right now. I think that's one of the other big questions that I get a lot in the office, or we get a lot in the office, is what can I do to market myself right now? And I think that's what we've been saying is stop selling to people right now, start servicing your clients, really go back to that piece of it. And I love what you just said about the 60s and the different waves that this has had, because what that did was make me think back to what a realtor used to be, right? And they really were this like shepherd of the community, right? They knew where everything was, they knew everything that was going on. And if we could go back to that and really just small town again and get to know your farm and your neighborhood and really own your farm, right? Become the mayor of that farm again. What does that look like, to our business and to our clients? What kind of level of service can we provide? And even what lifestyle does that make for us?
Maybe it won't be farming anymore. Maybe we won't be harvesting leads anymore. Maybe we'll be serving the community. Who delivered that bag on my front step? It wasn't, no offense, but it wasn't Realty Headquarters. It wasn't Zillow. It wasn't Realtor.com. It wasn't DoorDash. It wasn't Open Door. It wasn't Berkshire Hathaway in Minnesota or wherever you're based. It was that local realtor that has the very core fabric of our communities at heart. Mm-hmm. And, I think that's always been the people that have been successful in this business. It always has.
Yeah.
There are sleazy, swindler, salesy people that cut corners and break rules, and they don't get any referrals. So I think that's always been the formula for sex, but it will probably, as you said, even be more so now.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Brad. We really do appreciate you being here. And if you guys, again, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. You're all being so quiet this morning, and that is not like you.
Anyone can ask a question of me. Is there time for that, or are we out of time?
Yeah, absolutely. We got plenty of time for everybody to ask questions. I'm waiting for somebody to drop one in the chat. I think they're all being shy this morning.
Anybody? I interview economists all over the world. I interview all the tech. I just had a long talk with Pete Flynn, who founded Trulia, and Rich Barton, who just founded Zillow, and have interviewed all of the imaginable hardworking realtors. But if you want any perspective on anything, I can share what they're saying. If not, have a great day, make some money this week, and I wish you luck. And Inman's always here to support you. We have a big conference coming up for 25 years, Inman Connect. You've been coming to us. Now we're coming to you. People ask me the dates. It's June 2nd through the 4th. It's called Connect Now. They ask me the location, and I tell them it's in your living room. We're bringing all these people I just mentioned to your living room. Just move some chairs around, make some coffee. For me, have some half and half, and we're coming to you. The beauty of it, to come to Connect costs about $700 or $800, and then you got to travel, and you got to get a hotel, and you got to get an Uber, and you got to pay for drinks. And this time it's $50 if you're what's called a select member. And if you're a select member, it's really easy you go to inman.com. And I'm not selling, it's just we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of speakers and networking and referrals. And it's a huge opportunity. We're going to have probably 10,000 people from all over the world that'll be tuned in. And it's going to be really a major event. So I'd welcome all of you and love to have you.
Did you just say that your event is $50? They can go to the event for $50.
If they're a select member, and if you're not a select member, and all that means is you get access to all Inman content. Right now, Inman Select is free for 90 days. So you can not only become a select member for 90 days, but you can sign up for $50. We say we're getting a lot of questions about how price is going to be impacted. What's the best response? And I guess the question here, what do you think, Stephanie, is the best response to sellers on pricing? Is that, do you think, the question?
We're hearing that there could be so, I think, again, what we're hearing is, and I just sat in on some things with CAR last week, and we just had the deputy chief economist give us a report for YPN, for CAR YPN, and he really talked about the fact that we went into this with a stronger footing, and the fact that really inventory is going to be the piece that's going to control this, and that we have such a demand and such a pent-up demand for inventory that will likely control some of that. Now, in an area like our area in Coachella Valley, we've got 9 cities. Palm Springs over the last 10 years has experienced the highest increase that it's ever experienced. And that piece of it does concern me slightly for our agents. And it's one of the things we share all the time, that the number of transactions that happen out of the city of Palm Springs wouldn't be enough to sustain our agents alone. So where are they going and looking?
Sounds like you have the answer to that one, Stephanie. Should we go on to the next one? Brad, you're saying that this crisis could be good for desert people being able to work remote and leave the high-priced coastal. And absolutely. Yas and I bought here because really believed in the direction Palm Springs was headed. There's a global population coming here more so than ever. People that are building and investing in Palm Springs, certainly affected by the pandemic, certainly affected by the economy, but all the signs were up, and so we really believe in Palm Springs, and I think that we're not worried at all about our investment here. Now, there's a settling and there's a correction and there's going to be some changes. Anyone that says they can predict that is BS. I've been writing about and interviewing economists my whole life, and they're wrong all the time anyway. So I guarantee you they're wrong this time too. But you guys know better than the best PhD of economics anywhere, because you're on the ground talking to buyers and sellers, and your gut is probably better than anybody's about where this market is going. No question though, we should not lie to each other. There is some drying up going on, and let's be realistic. I always say that the path to self-awareness is, first of all, being honest about where you're at right now, and then being very optimistic about how you manage to the situation we're in. Any other questions?
Market. Yeah, there was one other one. Is anyone having difficulty getting folks to use virtual tours to view properties?
No, I think everybody's on that game, and it's just so obvious. People are reluctant to go into houses.
I think it's us. We were the last ones to be okay with it. We were the ones that still had to get out and see those properties, right?
Yeah, realtors held on to this idea. They had to meet every buyer and take them. It was really ridiculous. It was ridiculous 5 years ago. It was ridiculous 4, 3, 2, 1, and now it's totally absurd. I mean, I've been in a few situations where I went into a house lately and I shouldn't have. I'm sorry I did it. I should have never done it. I could have done it through a virtual tour. And I think all those habits we got to get rid of. And all the pandemic did is give us an opportunity to see how much better it is and actually how more functional. It's a better use of our time. It's better use of the consumer's time, better use of the agent's time, and just as good for the seller.
Right.
So I really believe in that. Are there unique situations where it doesn't work? Sure, but we're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the mainstream here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think our sellers are going to hold us to a different standard in the future. Byron mentioned that he doesn't even think that Zillow is stripping out URLs anymore, and I agree with him. I think that they are leaving all of that in so that we have options for that. Someone just asked, Kate just asked, do you feel open houses will go by the wayside? More one-on-one appointments. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to go virtual, and some of it won't, but I think most of it will. It's just kind of like business travel. Right now, if you look at the market cap of Zoom, it's bigger and greater than the market cap of all the major IR lines. I suspect that business travel will be cut in half after the pandemic, because we found out we can do all this business remotely, and who wants to get on a plane and go places?
Right.
And I have no interest ever have I of going to an office for a closing where everyone's doing the celebration. It's just I'm a consumer who wants to buy a house. I'm not looking to build new relationships or create new friends. That's not how I do it. What I'm looking for is an easy, simple transaction. Some people will want that bear hug, that human touch, but I think that'll go from 70% to 10% is my bet. And people realize this just works so much better. Will open houses still happen? Sure, but there'll be fewer and fewer, is my guess. Yeah,
I again agree with you how interesting it is that we're finally, that the technology we needed when all this happened was already there, and we're having to adopt it, right? And it's really
it's been pitching it in our news cell every day for 20 years.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Awesome. Well, if you guys have any questions, we don't want to keep him for too long. I know I wasn't going to keep you longer than about 15 minutes, so we'll let you head off here in just a second.
Hey,
but
go ahead. You well. I'm happy to answer anything. If not, you all have a great summer. I know it gets hot here, and hopefully the market won't be too bad for you.
Well, we're glad to hear that you're now one of our neighbors. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate it. You have a great day, Brad.
Okay,
everybody's saying thank you as well. So thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Bye, guys. All right. So everybody, thank you guys all for joining us. Dwayne, do you have anything else to add as we're closing? You guys just have a great week. Reach out to us. We'll be reaching out to you this week. Let us know how we can help you, and we'll be checking in. So take care, and we'll get this PowerPoint emailed out to everybody shortly, so you guys all have access to it. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Steph?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're just to let you know, here at the Oasis, we are opening our pools per Riverside County.